Let's talk about the learning disability and the individuals with the learning disabilities. Not only kids, we are going to cover mostly, as we said, like the younger or adults especially. Okay, there will be the three chapters of our presentation. As you may see, we're going to talk about what the learning disability is, the causes, classification and prevalence, characteristics. And on the second one, as you can see, that we extended the scope of our project. So we're gonna give the information on the pre-visit, arrival, during visit, post-visit, and tips for communication. And on the last chapter, we're gonna give some, we say the best examples, best practices, but there are more, I believe, but we will share with you, with the videos, showing some videos. The internet is, the Wi-Fi, did you get the Wi-Fi? Okay. Learning disability, it's a type of disability with the high prevalence, not only in Turkey, not only in let's say in Europe, especially mostly in the US. You will see, like the US says that 40% of their population had the learning disability. Yeah, especially the reading comprehension. Yes, especially the reading disability, because the reading is really critical. As an U.S. graduate, I got my Ph.D. from Arizona State University, and I stayed there 5 years. I got courses on the reading disability also, and the discussion since 1920s is why our students cannot read. I'm gonna give you some more details about reading, also others. Because both, reading, writing, and mathematical issues, they had both technical issues, also the logical issues.
We may ask a question. I actually wonder if the apartment, have you ever met any youngster learning disability in your life?
Or adults.
Yeah.
A good question.
We may have the learning disability also at some point, at some degree. Not diagnosed maybe, but yeah. The most important thing is that having normal or above normal intelligence, IQ. No problem with the IQ. If you have a problem with the IQ, then it's not a learning disability. It's intellectual disability affecting your learning. So the most important thing, the discriminative, the variable we say, is the IQ score. It has to be at the normal level, okay? So to a doctor or a psychiatrist in Turkey, psychiatrist diagnose, they get the criteria, they check the IQ score, they carry out the IQ test, and then after that, they diagnose with of course, the background of the individuals. And of course, it's on the learning issues, and their academic success is negatively affected. And I will give you some more information, but it's not based on the visual disability, not based on the intellectual disability. It's something regarding to the neurological, like processing system, information processing system. Yes, learning, how to learn, managing the learning or the other inputs. Getting the right inputs, attention. I'm going to talk about details on it. Okay, as the causes haven't yet been fully identified. We cannot say, like the Down syndrome, that's the chromosome that causes the Down syndrome. I mean, for the learning disability, we get the MRIs, the magnetic resonance imaging. We see we compare the typical brain and the brain of the individual with the learning disability. We see that in some brain lobes, we see the differences on the intensity, on connectivity, especially regarding the reading, writing, and mathematical.
Is the Broca Center affected in learning?
You know,
Wernicke Center also affected.
yes.
Yeah.
But in recent neuroscience, what neuroscience says, you know, in the past, the neuroscience was telling us that there is a like speech center. You know, right now, the last maybe 5 years, the studies they tell us from the neuroscience, they say, you know, the brain actually there is no specific, you know, the specific area. It's all connected together. So no Broca, no Wernicke. So it's it's like more comprehensive. Like they say brain is interconnected. So we have to really think about the functional skills and functional behaviors, and then work on it.
And what is there any difference in the processing?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah. Okay.
Some limitation to process knowledge and limitation of the memory. That's caused the learning.
So with the memory, the working memory.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna give details in the following slides. Yeah.
One technical issue, because if you want the voice to be recorded as well, and we have two.
Yeah. The Ümit is not. No. Yeah. Ümit. Yeah. So we in universally we categorize the learning disability mild, moderate, and severe. Okay. The mild has the limited, like let's say, like having the in reading problem. It can be, you know, like teaching some really basic strategies, and then teach the IDA how to self-learn to read and to understand what you read. And yes.
Is just the reading, the mathematics, or
No,
or third difficulty, or I have I don't know the sides, so I know sides left and right, but my mind, my brain doesn't know when I need to turn left. I said right.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a disability?
I'm gonna come up. Most of your questions, you know, I mean, it will show up in the next slides. If we don't answer your question or what's your in your mind as an, you know, the inquiry, so then you may ask it. Moderate, I mean, there are like significant limitation, and then it needs really intensive support. I mean, maybe individually, I mean, or like spending really like the time to work on the strategies, to work on maybe in some points, some points like needs aids. You know.
They need some adaptive materials actually.
Severe LDs, yes, and these are like, we may say that they have multiple, like both reading, writing, mathematical thinking, and mathematical difficulties altogether, multiple.
Is this connected to the ability to abstract thinking?
What? Yes, yeah, we got yes. So in DSM or in the universal categorization, the LD, you know, have 3 types of the LD, let's say, okay? Dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia. Dyslexia is about the reading skills and having difficulty to read fluently. Reading is a technical issue, okay? We say Ümit, Savaş, Taşkesen. Okay? It's actually symbols, right? And we do get an understanding of, actually not understanding, the familiarity of the symbols, and then we, as a motoric function, we produce the,
Correlate.
yes, correlate. But the actual reading is reading comprehension. What it means, what Ümit means, right? What Savaş means. So at that point, that's why the US, you know, they are crazy about reading, because they say, you know, we have problems with the students because they read, but they don't understand. Okay? They cannot get meaning of what they are reading.
Because they are society of low consistency, because there is a connotative and denotative meaning of reading.
Definitely, yeah. So that's the how you, I mean, what you expect from the, you know, from your students, from the standards, what you are trying to do. So the dysgraphia is about the writing difficulties, and dyscalculia is a math disability and math-related skills on occurring and then performing, you know, the low and high level of the math skills. Okay, as you can see, the prevalence rates, the prevalence of LD varies across the countries. In DSM-5, this rate is between 5 to 15. In the US, it's 40%. There is no official data for the Turkey, but it's stated that this rate is about 60% of all disability. It's a national disability study. It's discussable, you know.
40% is socially also, or it depends on the criteria they use?
The criteria they use, because they are state-based, and each state has different criteria.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Characteristics of individuals with learning disabilities, and these are some actually common characteristics we may mention. You know, you may see like the reading and writing, information processing, so learning, academic activities, language and speech, attention and memory, social and perception, and blah blah blah blah. As is one of, I mean. That was you, right? I mean, you had that difficulty, or one of your friends?
No, I have.
You, okay. I mean, they usually say, I have a friend, so...
Learning disability.
See, my wife, she is professor, she also, I mean, when we exit, she always go to the wrong side. So she's professor, but, yeah, you see.
Learning disability have three major areas, actually. Dyslexia, dyscalculia, and dysgraphia. But learning disability affects our youngsters or adults in different way. Like you see, it's not about just doing some mathematical solving problems and reading and writing. It's also affect information processing. It's cover all developmental areas, as you see examples. For example,
so we're gonna talk about that processing here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know, it's of course related. You know, when you have problem with the, let's say, the reading, and you are a student in the classroom, and the teacher says, okay, let's have the reading loudly. I mean, like in Turkey, I mean, in the classrooms we have like to make the listening skills, to improve the listening skills, to improve the reading skills of the students. And that student, if she or he has the, you know, the reading difficulty, she's not gonna, or he's not gonna read, right? So because if he or she reads, he or she knows like the others will loud and then embarrassed. you know, and then not to try to again to read. So of course, see that area of the reading problem, maybe with the articulation, with the sounds problem, it affects your social skills, your emotional skills. So social emotional development, I mean, let's say, okay. So then actually it's directly, as you can see, let's say, see the reading and writing characteristics. You know, the most of, when you say the learning disability all around the world, most of the people say dyslexia. You know, they don't say dysgraphia, dyscalculia, because the most prevalent group of the learning disability is dyslexia, the reading disability.
But if you can't read.
What?
But if you can't read, necessarily you're not going to be able to.
Yes, your math skills. See the.
Then you are not going to be able. If you don't have the abstract ability, you cannot calculate.
Right now in Turkey, my daughter will enter the high school exam, entrance exam, and also the university entrance exam. They call it the new generation questions in math and in physics, in you know, the other science questions. Like long paragraph, you have to read, you have to understand, you have to get the idea, and then you know solve the problem. So it's not the technically, you know, the read is enough. You have to understand. As you can see, the reading errors. The cat jumped over the moon. That took that on. As you can see, these are some examples. That jumped no man. So when you read like this, actually it means that you don't also understand what it means, right? Yeah. So of course the reading comprehension is the last high level of the reading skills. Because before that, you have to give attention, you have to pay attention, you have to have the word recognition, you have to know the symbols. See, I can read right now, Plavi, but I don't understand what the Plavi means. Mavi. Mavi. In Turkish.
Yes.
Why didn't you say Mavi? Why do you say Plavi? Just say Mavi. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, you know, technically, mechanically, yes, I did read, but I didn't get the meaning of it. Different languages, but the language is the one of the concept of the the symbols, the language, writing symbols, sign language, right? What else? Jest and mimics. What else? I mean, these are the forms of the communication, right? I mean, the way of the communication. But if you have the same, if you, as you said, the language difference, because I don't know the what?
The meaning.
What it means? No meaning. No, Bosnian language. Okay, that's why, because we don't. That's not in common between us. Okay, so that's why actually the meaning of our this 4-day training is to get the same meaning of what we are talking about, to know the other populations. So as you can see, the information, Tezcan, you may now talk about information processing model.
As you know, there is some unseen model of how brain is working. One of them is working memory, as you say. The other, immediate memory. In learning disability, we tend to agree the whole model is damaged somehow. We don't know. maybe heredity, maybe other factors, insufficient nutrition maybe there is a role model when youngster upcoming, the becoming adult. The role models also important in learning disability. So, as you see, there are lots of inputs, sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste. Our sensory processing model processing these inputs and store some different areas. Working memory is between short-term memory and long-term memory. It's like the police, like a guardian. When we need this information, working memory do the work, calls them. But let's see. Irene, is there any word similar to plavi? Similar in Bosnian language?
Bravi,
Yeah.
bravo, like bravo, right?
Yeah. Let's the youngster try to read these booklets. He easily read plavi, bravi, right? And understand as a bravi artisan. It means in Turkey, bravo sanatçı. Yeah? It's all about information processing model, actually.
Yeah.
It's the sum of how learning disability brain works, actually.
But before that, see, the sighting, hearing, touching, smelling, testing, sighting. To learn, you have to pay your attention to me enough, right? Right now, like what you are doing right now. So, if you have problem with the attention, then you get this, the information like this, cut, like piece, and you cannot get the whole idea of what we are trying to say. Okay? Then in immediate memory, you don't get the right information to the immediate memory because you have this like splitted information, not the whole information. Okay?
It's very complex.
Huh?
So it's very complex now because you mean that sensory memory doesn't include correctly the working memory and the visual spatial part doesn't work, so it doesn't go to the long-term memory.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why there are some strategies. I mean, when we work with the kids, with the students with the learning disabilities, we like to define, first of all, to diagnose, what areas, like the working memory or the immediate memory, attention, hyperactivity, or the other, like the sensory issues. See, like, if you don't, then don't check the, the audiometry of the students, and then the kids maybe write down the top means ball, when you say ball, students write down doll, because he or she hears the B as a D because of the hearing loss, as a sensory input she had. Okay? No, not scary. Because as an expert, when a kid comes to me and then parents says, hey, my kid has a speech and language delay, I say the first thing is to check the auditory processing system. Second thing is a neurological testing. If everything is clear, then I will check the history of the child. What he or she does during the day when he or she is awake. Does she or he gets enough input or not? Okay? So there are ways.
Rule number 1 is not clear. Whatever I make for you
in this project,
designing an experience does not apply for then.
No.
So everything is
Because you know, in the first sentence I said inclusion is a philosophical issue. Like right now, I am one of this. I have, you know, this echoing is annoying me right now. I'm really seriously. I cannot actually right now. I pay attention because I don't have a diagnosis, but I am diagnosed as an ADHD. Let's say impulsivity especially. You know, because there is no way to make a perfect storytelling output. Okay, please relax.
But,
Yes.
but we have the strategies.
But we have the strategies. We have the universal principles. Okay? Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Are we going good? Yeah? Okay. So if you have the problems on these issues, of course you have the problems on the academic, you know, the area. If you are at the school or at the work, you know. Language issues are the most common the area that accompany with the learning disability. Because the input comes from language, and then you write, actually you define what you see, you know, you see this Ümit, but if you cannot hear as an Ümit, you cannot pronounce Ümit. You have to hear it, right? You will be familiar with this object. Object is a you know, the object, but we call it pen, right? But you have to hear it when you touch it, when you see it, when you you know, experience it, when you smell it. You have to hear, the language learning, you have to hear from somebody who knows what this means in that language, you know?
This is how we learn the children. This is how we learn the
Yes. So the same is the language is, of course, influence your reading, your writing, your mathematical, you know, the skills. Okay. See, not understanding jokes, using words that are not appropriate for the context. As I said, like articulation issues especially. Comprehension and action. Comprehension is the last level, the top level, you know, to make meaning of in your language experience. We say mother tongue, right? Yeah. Of course, it has negative effects on the. There are some details here, you know. We may share all the PowerPoints with all the audience. If you want, Dr. Kevser, is that okay? Yeah, to the students and the two other participants. Yeah. Okay. Here are maybe Tezcan, you may go again. Start to processing.
As you see, there are another model in detail, actually. When we try to store an idea or information and then try to retrieve it, we use this model, actually.
Yes.
But in learning disability, short-term attention may be divided, and the individual may have difficulty concentrating. The action, the idea, the book, the sentence, the face, the eyes, or voice. Okay? For this reason, problems are observed in retaining information and recalling it when necessary. So, let's try to solve some mathematical problems. There are some problems. Let's say there are some problems. He or she knows what to do, but which problem-solving skills he used. Firstly, he couldn't not recall. For this reason, let's see, he need to sum up the score, but he should divide. Because of this, it affects the recalling process. Okay? These problems in short-term memory also prevent the fulfillment of sequential task. What is this? For example, buying a ticket or writing some paragraphs. Okay? There are all tasks, sequential tasks. You need to grab some
steps.
There are some important steps. You need to do all of them to fulfill your goal. But if short-term memory affected, you experience some difficulties to recalling the
steps.
proper steps or proper skills.
Yes. You know, the main thing, as I showed here, you know, if you remember, starts with attention. Let's go to that pen example. If the individual, if the material we're gonna prepare, if it doesn't get the attention of the person, then it doesn't go to the short-term memory. It doesn't go to the processing. Like I showed, like the IDA, I mean, doesn't give me the attention, or giving like, sometimes giving attention and sometimes like from echoing, let's say, I mean, she's getting annoying from the, the echoing or from the other inputs. So doesn't give the real attention to me, like the enough attention or the necessary attention to me. That,
For us too.
yes, the same. And we all have different attention spans, right? And we, as a teacher, we say like, we have to know our each student's attention, or how can I get them mostly what kind of activities will get their attention directly and focused to me to teach. So if she doesn't get the attention, we call it shared attention, because the object, the resource and the target. We have to get the shared attention, then if I say the pen, then she will get a meaning of this. Okay, but not the first time. We have to repeat it, because the neuroscience says the learning occurs on the repeated occasions. Okay, so that's why the attention is in every model of the learning disabilities is the main thing, and of course all this information, all this the problems affects the social the area, social domain of the even the kid or the adult, or like the elder people. It doesn't matter, what the age you are, definitely affects your social life and social and emotional development. Okay, so now the chapter 2, how are we going to, make the cultural heritage places more inclusive, more accessible, not only physically, okay? So we, especially Tezcan and Onur, especially Tezcan, and we try to actually scope our the level of the project, and we try to give you some information on the pre-visit, arrival, during visit, and post-visit, times, how to make the adaptations, how to make these places more accessible or more inclusive for the individuals with the learning disabilities. Okay. For pre-visit mediums, the website, social media, brochures, and multimedia. These are the main the available or accessible, let's say the resources for others. I mean, to get the information or to get to know where I am gonna go, what I am gonna do, what I will see, and blah blah blah. So, Tezcan, do you want to say something?
As you know, today's world, all of us use the website, social media, or other application to gain insight a phenomenon, okay? It might be cultural site, it might be a book, it might be everything. For this reason, we split pre-visit mediums in 4 steps. Website, how we make accessible website for learning disabilities, and social media, and brochure, and the other multimedia.
Of course, we may add more and more and more, but these are 4 main. I mean, when we look at the literature, the related literature, this
also our reports, shared reports, website
came up the 4 main mediums. Okay. See the website, the first one, and we say like the website.
Yeah. First of all, website design should avoid distracting elements that cause too much cognitive load. Okay? In the right side, you see some proper example of how website accessible could be adjusting. The Vocalize, some of very well known charity from England, doing some art accessibility for person with deaf or hard of hearing, also learning disability. As you see, there are some adjustment tools in their website. You can change font size, you can change images hiding or unhiding, you change the background contrast. All of them, we know, affect comprehension of person with learning disability. It's too important to make adjustable websites.
As far as I know, I think our website has this, right? This, the icons and this, options for the people, who want to change the font.
But even for us.
What?
But even for us.
Even for us, yes.
If you have a contrast, the
Yeah.
working memory
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have to,
Great.
to focus on small letters.
That's why, Dorothea, I say there is no perfect word, perfect inclusive environment, because each of us has different learning style, different attention span, different, different information processing system, different IQ, different. We came up with an IQ, of course, but with even the same aynı ikizler neydi ya? Twins, identical twins, they had the same heredity, but when when they grow up in different experienced environment, they are different. So that's why. But there are, of course, what we are trying to do. Then you may ask, who are not in the project. So then, what you are doing now? But there are some universal principles that we have to just think about, like this. Yes, that's why we are trying to give this, not to kaybolmak şeyde. Neyse. Not to get lost all this information, all this massive information on the different disability groups. Not the massive.
So all of us
Focus on the universal principles.
So all of us.
Task is somehow to balance them in order to meet their lower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we admit all of us love glossy design, the colorful design of website, too much button, too much word. There is a different words in it. We like, but person with disability, I'm not specifying with the learning disability, could not understand. It's simple. It's one of the musts we do for the accessibility.
The extra information is an extra copy of the blog.
Yeah, great.
Slow down the process.
From the materials we prepared now and we are presenting, actually we may come up with a checklist, for the website and for the other issues, like whether it's universally, the correct or not. To check it. So we may add it in our project, the output. Okay. For pre-visit, how to enhance the accessibility of the cultural heritage sites website. These are also some universal principles, as you can see. Simplified subtitles, all non-textual content, creating feedback messages explaining why the individual made a mistake in this process, blah, blah, blah. These are, again, it's going on.
For example, there are two perfect errors example.
Error, yeah.
Text-heavy design, interaction-heavy design. You see, there are beautiful design, right? Buttons and the color choosing, it's great, but not comprehensible, not easily understandable. For this reason, we need to keep it simple, keep it basic, keep it all of us, okay? It's too important, not just person with learning disability, but also the other group.
But of course, for the stakeholders, who prepare the websites for the cultural places and who prepare brochures or the other places, they need to know what the basic means, because basic is a general. It means differently for each of us, right? So we call it functional definition of the terms in the academic area. So that we need functional definition of what the basic means, what the difficult means, because it's not a metric, right? You know what 5 means, 10 means, but I gave you 5. You will ask 5 on 5 or 5 on 100, out of 100 or 5 out of 5, So it means 5, 5 means differently to what?
Give me 5.
Yeah, give me a 5 or yeah. So that's the meaning is, that's why in our project we're gonna write down what the basic means, what the difficult means, what the contrast means, with the examples, of course. That's why we are trying to show you the examples. Okay, it is an example, right?
Yeah,
the
it's
downloadable map.
Another must feature is downloadable maps, because person with disability need to
like Emina, like Emina, because when she exits this, let's say when she enters the main entrance and when she does want to go to the hats, let's say, she needs this map. And most of the malls, let's say, they have this kind of like the application map application. And they have most of them, let's say, especially in the US, because of this shopping crazy, the population, they has this, like the law, they say turn right, turn left, and it gives the direction to the maps at the mall. Yeah. Okay, still pre-visit, the social media content, it was another medium, and we say this is a bad example, and this is a correct example.
Actually, the key point is that using visual cues, we too much trust for the text,
Yes.
Every time we try to do something, we use lots of text, but it's not easily understandable. But if we choose using visual clues like the right one, with the simplified subtitles or alt text, it's empowering to comprehension and accessibility.
The meaning.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about, actually, Ümit will talk about the visual cues, visual inputs. Yes, and in autism also, I mean, to make it meaning, to make it easy to understand, the visual inputs are really important. Yeah, but visual clues is not enough. Simplified subtitles with voice cover and other, other adaptations.
When you post in Instagram or LinkedIn, you need to use the voiceover. You need to put what is the meaning of it. Where will the meeting held, the date, or the place? You need to tell with simplified subtitle. The basic, you need to use them for real accessibility.
The last brochures, yeah.
The last pre-visit media is brochures. Every cultural site have them. I don't know. I don't see in the entrance, but I believe in here also you have some brochures. But the research tells us person with disability using brochures to get understanding what the cultural heritage site give them, what the opportunities. But in the general, the brochures doesn't have any information about it. As you see, there is a good example of simplified brochures. It has sensory map, it has bookable services information, and the other information person with disability need to know.
Arrival.
Maybe second step of arrival.
Second step, so pre-visit, arrival to the sites right now.
From the moment of entry, guides should enable individuals with learning disabilities move easily in the cultural heritage site. The guides, should contain simple text and understandable background and simple language. I'm repeating, using all over the cultural heritage site in the brochure, in the some.
It should be parallel also.
Yeah, and also it is essential to provide information for multiple communication modalities. I know it's hard to do all of them at once. Sign language or applications like speech generating applications and the other thing.
Pictograms.
But yeah,
pictograms.
Pictograms. If you put at least 2 of them, it's very supported to accessibility. I know it's hard to get all in once, but it's so important. Another important
it's like directory.
Directory. In the world, lots of cultural heritage sites using guide application. If you're using a Google Play Store or App Store, you see there are lots of guide application programs. They are very informative and helpful to person with disabilities. Not only person with learning disabilities, but also the other type of disabilities. Application or the, let's say, digital guides increase accessibility for individuals with disabilities. But how? First of all, they use simplified text, voiceover, accessible maps, and uyarının şeyini hatırlayamadım. Uyarı.
İkaz mı?
İkaz.
İkaz.
Hatırlayamadım.
Huh?
Yok.
Anyway.
Yeah,
we couldn't find the English version of the... Uyarı neydi?
Warning.
Ya vallahi.
And
warning. You know warning.
You know the ikaz.
Yeah, see,
and this
Irena language. Yeah.
And this application using all at once with ease. For this reason, we recommend to using the digital guide application in cultural heritage site.
Now during visit.
Yeah, during visit, it's important to accessible the cultural heritage. For example, there is a piece of art, right? We need to know what is that, right? The basic information, which one made it, or what is the meaning of it, but in a simplified language. You know, in Plymouth Museum Natural History, there is a good example. The forming on metamorphic rocks, but they use so basic language to understand the content. For this reason, presenting text-intensive content, it's hinder our goals, you know?
You are all aware that, I mean, not only the text, but also, I mean, simplified audio descript.
No more than 40 words and
Yeah.
that needs to be explained.
Yeah.
So don't say alabaster, say
Yes.
plaster, because I need to explain what is
Yeah.
alabaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's işte Turkish. So that's the basic. What the basic means. I mean, you have to, you know, you now functionally you define what it means. I mean, what it should be. Otherwise, I mean, each of the or whoever is the the preparing that content or the responsible for that will have his or her own meaning into that. That's why, I think what I was saying, I mean, in my first presentation and just when I started in this presentation, there are some simple principles in general, in universal, right? But to make it real is the role of the politicians or the who govern this cultural heritage sites. Okay, because if they don't provide this money, human resources, right? the physical resources, if they don't provide this, all this, I mean, the resources, then I mean, there is no way the IDA will try to all this, you know, this basic knowledge into the practice.
Well, we do that even
Yeah.
without the money.
Without the money, without, yeah, see, but you try to get maybe some supporters or some, I mean, you're not,
knowledge and motivations are actually the crucial.
But some of them are, you know, really expensive. I mean, you know, what we are talking right now, I mean, to prepare let's say the website or to get these audio
Digital
devices,
guides.
you know, all this, you know,
Yeah, but the print is in bigger letter.
But that's only, only it's one of the principles. I mean, when you are trying to be more inclusive, I mean, at the same understanding level of the universally, then you have to really take care of all principles. And it's not only your responsibility. It's who is having the most, let's say, the responsibility, decision makers. Yes, they have to say these are the standards, and I have to prepare. I will provide you all these, you know, the resources, you know, money. I mean, physically and human resources, and then all my cultural heritage sites will be at the same standard. That's not the real word. So that's what I was trying to say. But it should be over there. And as an academician, as an the science man, let's say, I mean, we have to provide the what it should be. Okay, that's why we are trying to, I mean, get this. And our first, maybe the TÜBA, Dr. Muzaffer Şeker will give this booklet, this guidebook to the Treasury, değil mi? Neydi? Turizm Bakanlığı? Ministry of Culture and... Yeah. Okay. During visits, let's say the 3D model on an artifact, let's see the Stockholm, as you can see.
Interaction is a key for the learning. Information processing model, please remember it, there is some problems with the input. If we multiply the input, and then
with more sensory,
and the learning will become more easy. Not just for blind or person with vision impairment, but also person with learning disability.
Yeah.
The touching, the other form of interaction, right? For this reason, you need to do some 3D model of an artifact in your cultural heritage site. It's so powerful tool for accessibility.
Post-visit?
Yeah. The visiting is a learning opportunity for all of us. But after the visiting, we need to do some summary for the visiting. What is the meaning of visit? What is the cultural heritage site offer us? For this reason, for example, it's a good example. Preparing some brochures or flyers or booklets will increase the accessibility. In the right side, you see guidebook example from England, the National Museum of Computing. It's a very well example of post-visit accessibility tool. For this reason, end of the trip reminders about the content or the other media you will use the support to accessibility.
Yeah, let's practice this in our project. So we're gonna prepare the storytelling media, right? Mm. So if we have after watching the media, if we have some basic activities, yes, the understanding, checking the understanding, okay. that kid, that individual gets the meaning of that, the video or that media. Okay, yeah. So it will actually match with one of the principles of the. It's like visiting the cultural heritage site.
So you mean that even in the digital environment, it would be advisable to have this structure, like explaining things?
Yes.
Yeah. Before
you
get the story?
Yeah. Before or after? Yeah, you may. I mean, there are some some principles they say before going to the site, prepare the individual. I mean, yeah. I mean, we may think about it. We may think about it. I mean, giving this practice, I mean, before and after this activities, it will help the attention, I mean, learning and kalıcılık, persistency of the learning. Geliyor, yavaş yavaş. Yeah. See, I graduated in 2004. Yeah, I am really born in 1972. I graduated in 2004 from the Arizona State University, and it has been 20 years. I only spoke English in conferences in the United States or in Europe. So, sorry about my language, and Tezcan is better than me, actually, in English. You say, of course. Huh? Diane, yeah.
I agree with most of what you say. Have you heard about Groucho Marx, the American actor, that have said, "These are my principles, if you don't like, I have others."
Yeah.
So why I have assumed that what you are saying is what we have to do in the project. Why we cannot reinvent these kind of things. Because one of the things that doesn't resonate to me at all is that we always are seeing examples of countries. England, United States, and so on. And we never show, I don't know if it is or not, ours. And what is really happening on the contextual market, museum, galleries, and so on, with what is existing today.
Actually, Balkan Museum Network has a great project report in I find in internet. Czech Republic, North Macedonia, the other country, the share report, I believe. There are lots of good best examples, actually. The guidelines for the ramping, the other thing.
This is best example, we say, because we define that principles. Please don't miss the examples we show from the England, of course, US or blah blah blah. Don't let's say we are like admiring them. It's not that issue. The issue is the principles, what we are saying. Okay, the contrast. Yes, methodological. I mean, that's principles. I mean, the correct one is like this. Like we say, what do we say? We say that 3D model of an artifact. That's the principle. Yeah, but we showed the example from Stockholm. I mean, we may show it from.
Or just a replica.
Just
a replica.
Yeah, just a. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean, hey, they are the best. US the best. Stockholm is the best. It doesn't mean that.
It means it will work.
It
will work.
It will work.
Yeah, I mean.
But for others, for the cultural background, not for the pioneering and research. They have lots. I'm not an Anglo-Saxon fan, but we have.
No.
They have the funds and the pioneering in neuroscience. So we live there.
Anglo-Saxon, British, they are totally wired in their brain, completely different.
Okay.
The British in the room, they face questions that you never thought of. Because this is coming from the education system.
Okay.
So the brain, the cortex, is totally
But this,
in a completely different way.
my friend, this comes from neuroscience. It doesn't matter the professor is Anglo-Saxon, is white, black, or Kurdish, Turkish, whoever it is. It comes from so we are talking about the science actually. What the science tell us, what are the principles, and showing some examples of this.
If I may try to make a bridge between you.
No, we are.
There is no pieces apart.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There is actually a difference here.
Well, there are so many things in this, or the things that you are talking, there is the emotions, perception,
Yes.
history of the people. There are so many things, that makes you to appreciate this in a completely different way.
Okay.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah, so it's, when you say science says something,
Okay.
this is academic.
Okay.
When you say, when you go to the street,
Okay.
it's completely different.
Okay, let's talk about the
But
other
when
the other
it
way.
says that when you go to the street, if you have the holes in the street, you will fall down, you may get accident, you may hit your head, right? And then it says it has to be right, smooth. It doesn't say it should be plastic, it should be, several textures.
How you
Yeah.
navigate this, when this is the reality. Whatever it has to be.
The reality.
It has to be.
Okay.
The reality is
I don't get your question. What you are trying to say. I don't really get what you are trying to say.
What I'm trying to say is that to me this is very academic.
Very academic. Yeah. I don't agree with you. Yeah, definitely I don't agree with you because we are talking about the universal principles. Okay? This is 3D model. It says we say if you have this, if you say what's this?
We call this tactile replicas.
Tactile replicas.
Yeah.
If we say if you use the visual input, yes. Visual input.
And it's good for everyone.
For everyone, of course.
Also for me,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I'm a multisensory
Yes.
creature.
So this is not an academic information. This is human learning related information. So we say we need to get all this information into the practice.
These are norms. It's totally regulated how you can put this in the market.
No, I mean we are not talking about the market. We are trying to prepare a content, right, to make it usable, accessible, available to everyone. These are not the rules, sir. These are the principles. These are the universal principles of the learning, human learning. Like you, like all other people, how that.
Another very interesting point because I don't think the young people today is learning the same way that they learned when they went to school to university.
Okay,
I think it's
very romantic one.
So are you going to address this?
We are getting a different point of the discussion, I think. Yeah, I think.
The brain though is the same. The brain is unchanged.
Okay.
And I think
Yeah.
yes, but okay.
Guys.
But the principles of how we learn, let alone now with disabilities that have also norms, and we need to keep them, I believe, because otherwise there is no accessibility. First of all, the brain, we have an anatomy professor here, but still I allow myself to say it's not fully mapped. We know quite a lot of things, but not all. And I think what is now a third challenge, because I know two challenges will be discussed later. This challenge is also very important because not only the procedures we have to learn in order to balance these cognitive loads towards lowering them and simplification and bipolar context, all of these meaning to lower this cognitive load against the basic. The thing is, what is the basic? We're going to define it better. And the social
But it's not gonna be my definition. The basic definition not gonna be Ibrahim thinks basically means this.
Yeah, but when
We have to rely on the science. We have to rely on the scientific knowledge because the child development field, special ed field, neuroscience field, they have been studying how the individuals with the learning disabilities learn, how the brain works. I mean, we have to. Otherwise, I mean, each of us will create his or her own principles, right?
And it's not
Yeah.
really accessible then. I couldn't agree more, but
Yeah.
I think that learning from them, and I think that when it comes to this tactile experience,
Yes.
this is something that this group knows because has prior knowledge of that and the cultural background, and the other group doesn't know nothing. So I think there is that we have to make
There
a
is-
bridge. Selecting the objects for this narrative it seems to me today that it's not so easy as if I would have selected them for any audience. And even if I select an object for, I don't know, something like medieval iconography, and then I have a Japanese group, what am I going to tell them? You have to start from zero, as if they have learning disabilities, because they don't have a background. So I think
that was my what I try to say. There is no an excellent inclusive any practice. I said that's one of this. I mean, one of the issue what you are trying to say. But there are, of course. I mean, what we are trying to say here right now. If you are aware of that, culture-free principles, these are. Like making the fonts bigger, right? The contrast, the 3D models. I mean, these are culture-free. It doesn't say, the people from this culture or, Of course, when we come up with the specific content, yeah, we have to maybe think about that otherwise. That's why, I mean, at here, we said pre and post test maybe activity. We will think about it. We will come up with some ideas. I mean, to make it more or less inclusive again. To talk about that activities. But I am again trying to say here. Yes, I will talk academic. I will talk science because I'm a scientist. And I have to give the truth of the science. And it's to adjust that knowledge into their fields for each of us it's up to that, that area, that profession. Okay, but from my point of view, we have to say that this universal principles of the human learning, that's why what we are trying to say, I mean, for more than 1 hour, is how the individuals with the learning disabilities learn. Okay? How some adaptations will help they learn easier.
In the end, we have the same problem with visitors that don't have a prior knowledge of the subject, because everything is unknown to them, and you have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
It's not about the subject. It's all the things we try to talk about. All of them are strategies, not about the subject. Maybe I can give you an example. For example, let's say it is a artifact, cultural artifact, which I don't know, the other culture. I'm in Japan, and I'm seeing a artifact from the Edo period, right? I don't know anything about the Edo period, right? Maybe I don't know. But if the artifact has a simplified subtext or the 3D model, I can easily understand what it means.
It depends on what you write in the text. It can be simple.
Yeah, we try to.
So these are what you are trying to say.
Yeah.
Are the principles. Okay.
After
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's finish.
Hocam bir
We
geliyor.
we are. Huh? Yeah. Best practice from around the world. We get from like some examples. There are videos, but we don't have time to show all the videos, let's say. But we will share the PowerPoint with all of the, yes, you may go and visit it. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.